Yes. So you two were instrumental in helping to capture Umako, the violet-eyed woman whom Chiasa had believed was wearing other people's skins and was a monster underneath. But it seems that no, that's the way she looks. She looks like a pretty woman. However, she can elongate her fangs and claws, but she can still use the skin as disguises. But she does not look monstrous otherwise.
So she's creepy looking. So you said, okay, so we were hunting through the city. We were sent on this mission from my temple to go and meet up with what was that master's name? The bald monk.
The headman Shozo.
Okay, Shozo. And I said that I had like a sort of like a forebodance about Shozo, like Chiasa, just like she had heard of him, and she's just like wasn't sure about meeting him, just because. And I know, like, how did Jing feel about that?
Say again.
How did Jing feel about like meeting this guy? How do you feel about that?
Shozo?
Yeah, Shozo.
If I remember correctly,
go ahead.
We were looking for him.
Yeah, we were looking for him, but like
you guys.
Sorry.
Yeah, you guys had met him not last session, but the session before. He was the old man sitting in the open doorway of that house that Atsutada had taken you guys to.
Yeah, Frittata.
Atsutada, who had the scars from the equivalent of a scarlet fever when he was younger. And Shozo was the fat orange-robed priest. And the orange robes, for people here, they're just, it's just basically monks who accept, vows of poverty. But he also kind of serves as the headman for the Shadow District people. So, but and he's elderly. Like Jasper, your master is an older fellow, but this Shozo, he's elderly. He does not get around. If he doesn't have his cane, he's not moving. So
right. And then then also I had that thing, like Chiasa has that thing. So as a rat girl, like she has this thing from her temple. She knows that because she's sworn to protect others and to help in care of others, she's deathly afraid that if she meets face to face with too many people who may be lepers, that she will be stuck in servitude of those lepers to like help them until such time that they wouldn't need her specific help anymore. So she's like terrified of them, but it keeps coming off as like her just being like ugh about lepers.
Yeah. See a leper and run the other way. Bye.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't see you.
Pretty much. Yep. I'm basically cross the street. I'm 5 miles down the road. I'm just like, nope. I don't want to meet lepers. And Tristan, you did that because I'm doing this like for the full recap for the video. So you did that amazing bead throw. You threw that bead, like the bead on the ground, and you did that big energy shield around her, and that was a chance thing because that could have been bad for everybody, especially
but I did not realize
what would have happened if that didn't go well for you. Like, what was the worst outcome for that?
The worst outcome? She eats me alive in the bubble.
In the bubble, yeah, that's right. And I'd be on the outside hitting it like, no.
Yeah, it was that the beat of force will last for, I believe, 10 minutes, which is 100 rounds, more than enough time for Umako to, play around with Xing and see how strong his magical porcelain body is.
Oh, and I rolled that boss intimidation roll. That was a nat 20 on that one.
I think
Yep.
so.
And then she became fearful that I actually knew what I was talking and because I threatened her I was going to shrink the sphere if she didn't like listen to us and tell us where the kids were, and Sheila was like believing that because she's teasing us with the fact that there's other survivors. She had killed people and that's why people were missing, but that there's more missing people, and I think she mentioned that one of them was a child, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. So, and then after that, after we were having this long conversation with her, threatening her and everything, then the Yakuza, because we have the madam of the house, we told her to go run and get the Yakuza because they knew we were working with them, looking for the killer, and they came in, saw her around the sphere. We let them know what was going on. And we said we wanted to be there when they're interrogating them. These guys are cocky as shit too. Like, what did they look like again?
They're
because these are Yakuza class people, not Yakuza like gang. These are like the class where they're like heavy hitters, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So they are Yakuza gang, but also that's the actual class, like the samurai, bushi, wujin. So, and then the head Yakuza brother is what he's called. They're just brothers and sisters. They, regardless of whether they're related or not, the brothers and sisters. But the head Yakuza brother, the head operative, at least that you have met so far, the highest ranking one. Yeah, he's wearing like the black pants with the gray lotus flowers on them, the sandals, and then a yellow shirt open showing his chest, so you can see like he is tattooed almost fully across his chest and his forearms. And his name is Eiji, Eiji, Eiji. And he had two other operatives with him, a guy who was kind of a scary, slim, creepy looking guy. Not so much like, not like the kind of creep like, oh, stay away from my kids, but more like,
stay away, skinhead.
Kind of like kind of like a Wicked City sort of like, you're not certain this guy's entirely human kind of guy, and like, oh, you're fairly certain he would have no problem cutting you with one of his knives that he keeps playing with, and licking the knife. So, and then a very, very sturdy, attractive but very muscly woman. You don't normally see women with muscles like what she has. And you and Umako were basically at a stalemate because you were threatening her, and she was like, "I'm not going to tell you," because she said, "What's to keep you from killing me?" Then the Yakuza said, "We will take care of her," and they bound her in silver chains, these thin silver chains.
Yeah, that was cool.
So, and you guys asked if you could go with them because they were going to interrogate her elsewhere. And let's real quick. It would not be the madam of the house because this is a geisha house. So, they're honorable women. So it's the mother.
I know. I called her her the madam because she's the head. In my mind, she's the head bitch, no matter what. Like,
yeah. Well, as a female rat, you're allowed to do that. So,
I am a girl after all. Okay.
So that's where we had left it. You guys were going to the Yakuza agreed to let you come with them so that they could continue the interrogation in a more secure location.
Okay. As we're getting ready to leave the room upstairs in this, because we're in that house, we're on like the second floor, right? And we're in that little room.
Yeah, you were in the room where the mother was speaking with Xing and going to go get Umako.
And then I came out from behind the fountain with that skin, with the human skin and the wig, and I'm like, ha, gotcha. I did the Scooby Doo row, and so
slapped it on the floor.
I did. I slapped that skin on the floor, and then the whole confrontation happened. And then I'm just like, okay, so Chiasa's standing there. She still has her blade drawn. She turns over to Xing and she says, and like really quietly, as they're getting ready to march her off, I whisper over to you, Xing, and I say, "That was really actually amazing what you did."
Thank you.
And I say, I'm so happy you didn't give her any responses, because you would have told her that I was lying.
Yeah.
Do you have any more of those?
I show you one. I have this is the rest of it.
I say, oh, well, we might have to save those for another special occasion.
She sounds good to me, and I put it back in my pocket.
And then she also winks at you, and then she does a little, like, it's not her normal, like where she like hisses at you. She does like a upturn, like like a happy one, like a happy rat click, like yeah. And then she starts marching forward.
I will follow.
It's like Xing gave her some cheese.
Yeah. He's never given her cheese before. She's so angry. No, in fact, she thinks that's like, she does think that's patronizing a little bit. but at the same point,
but also she likes cheese.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's a cheese girl.
Listen, Chiasa, like all the Nezuko, or not Nezuko, the
Nezumi.
Nezumi. Yes, sorry, Nezuko. I was getting Demon Slayer mixed up in there. The Nezumi. They worship the god Jerry. Let's see. Let me get my other Discord up to. There we go. All right.
I imagine this would be very, very lacquered wood building.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of we would call it wainscoting, right? But a lot of polished wood. You know, the floors immaculately polished and lacquered. Lots of lacquer everywhere. So, but yeah, the dark teak wood, and then and a lot of cherry wood too. So
nice.
With and then of course good stone foundations here. These are not peasants. This is a nice geisha house. It's been here for a long time. But you are taken out of this building and through the streets as it's becoming later here in the entertainment district. So there's still things going on, but it's dying down. There's no fireworks or anything like that going on right now. No parades or the acrobats, those sorts of things. That stuff's dying down. Of course, some of the bars are still open. And then there are, one or two of the women who are not geisha, who are offering their services. And maybe one or two men too, depending on your preferences. So if the rat girl is wanting to be occupied for a little while.
No, we're following these guys. I'm not stopping him. I'm not stopping for hers. I'm going after what's going on. I'm in the moment. There's people about to die.
Well, come on. It's like a video game that doesn't have a timer on the mission.
I'm not Geralt, whore of Rivia. I'm the fucking. I'm the Rat Witcher. Like I'm the
Rat Witcher. I'm the Ratcher.
I'm the Ratchet.
And I'm Clank.
Yay! A big porcelain Chinaware Clank. Describe what you look like one more time.
So I'm kind of like the iRobot looking robot, but made of porcelain, and I have tattoos of the so far 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of the Chinese zodiac spirits on my body, on my porcelain body, engraved. And currently, my face is painted.
Yes, that's right. We gussied you up, and we actually put like a mask on you too. So you're wearing like a kabuki style mask that looks like an Oni mask. So like the frowned look, the horns, everything, just to like hide your features.
Mm-hmm.
And you're wearing a really nice kimono.
I am.
Yeah, dude, you look fly. Asian fly.
Yeah. Yes, some Shinwai features living here in Ryogo.
Yeah. And I was wearing like a decent kimono. It was like really long and flowing. And I tore the sleeves off. I tore the sleeves off of it. I'm still wearing my garb beneath, like my black garb with the, rolled up, tightened at the forearms and the legs and everything. But it's still kind of a little flowy on me. But my arms have been unleashed for combat. So I'm still dragging it around a little bit. Not hiding my rat face, though, because now we don't need to be as inconspicuous as we're leaving this following the Yakuza.
Right.
I do whisper over to Yujing, I'm just like, you don't have to wear that anymore. You can take that off now.
My kimono?
No, I mean, you do need to wear clothes. But, I mean the mask. The mask, you can take the mask off.
The mask actually helps me.
Oh?
Yes, it is. It was made with, where is it? A gift. It was a gift from my father. It actually gives me, it makes me a little stronger.
Okay. Fine.
Would you like some?
And I say, just hiss at you a little bit. Just go right back to that. Just like that means no. I say, I nod to you as I'm like going ahead of you.
And then when you go ahead, I whisper to myself, and it looks cool.
All right. So you guys move following the Yakuza, actually just a little bit outside of the entertainment district. And you go into a nondescript house, just a single story, normal looking house. Both you make perception checks too, please.
Perception.
Do I, let's see, and no negatives but no bonus on perception, or do I get to add, is that intelligence?
You guys get your wisdom bonus.
Oh, wisdom bonus.
Wisdom.
Okay.
Yes.
Mine is a 12.
Ooh, I actually have a 5 to my perception.
Nice.
I got, a 22.
Ooh.
All right.
I can see for days.
Chiasa, you do see a tattooed individual on top of the roof of a nearby building, and you can see just the top of it resting next to him, a crossbow. He doesn't have it in hand, but it's close by, and just from his look and the tattoos that are visible on his neck and shoulders, you get the feeling he's probably one of the Yakuza lookouts.
I look up to him and I nod as I sheath my blade.
He just looks at you, and as you guys continue to follow AG and the other two, you step into the house, and it looks to be like a simple 2-room house. except when you go back into the second room, which would, and it seems to be functioning, very simple, plain, clean. When you go back into the second room, which would be presumably a bedroom, you see a set of stairs that leads downward. And in here, you see another Yakuza. This Yakuza, though, he's what you would call a mountain. He's probably a good 6.5 feet tall, and at least his shoulders are at least twice the width of Shing's shoulders. I say Shing because Shing, you'd be a little bit taller than Chiasa. And even though he looks like he's fat, you guys have seen enough sumo wrestlers to know that it's probably still muscle. Like we would say, you go into the bro gym and you see the guy with the big gut, you don't mess with that guy. When he's over there deadlifting, like 650 pounds or something. But yeah, this guy has a number of tattoos as well, and he has you recognize a very large tetsubo, even larger than the one that you have, Chiasa. Not that you have it on you right now, but still.
Yeah, I don't, unfortunately, but still, I see him and my hair stand on end just because he's so big.
Yep. He just, when you guys come in, he smiles at AG and the other two, and he gives you two a nod as well. And you go down the stairs, and there's a decent-sized room down here. What might have been a cellar at one point, but has now been turned into, looks like a common room with comfortable mats and little pillows for seating, and some doors that lead off. And fairly simply, you guys just go through another door into a room with no other exits. It has a couple of chairs and a table in here. A simple lantern, which is dimly lit at the moment, but the muscled woman goes over and she brightens the lantern and lights a few candles that she pulls from a drawer in the table. And AG turns to look at you two. He says, "Well, now you'll see how we make yokai speak."
Oh my.
He says, however.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, you start to say something, and he looks at you.
Oh, and
yes, honorable Sohei.
And I say, forgive me, but the last time we tried to make an Oni speak, they immediately and viciously attacked us. With no remorse or care for their own life.
He says, well, she's bound by the chains right now, and you'll see a different sort of binding in a moment. He says, one of the members of our family had a famous exorcist amongst their bloodline. And so we were gifted with a few objects, something that you may be familiar with, or at the very least, you may be able to find some use for at some point in the future. So, and since I was told, Master Shozo sent word that you were sent by the temple, and that you have experience in this as well. So if you have any ideas or suggestions, feel free to speak them. We're friends here.
Thank you. And I bow.
and I touch her shoulder and I say, after as you lift yourself back up, I do give a little bow as well, and I'm touching Xing's shoulder, and I look over to you, and then I look back to the gentleman, and Chiasa says to him, I am curious to see what you plan to do, but in earnest, I must tell you, she's made accusations that she has hidden more people. I believe she has hidden them well, and I believe her intent is true. and that she will let them starve to death rather than attempt to save her own life. We must be quick and we must be swift. We must find where they are and we must find them now. So whatever it is you're going to do, you need to do it fast. And I also say to the gentleman standing there, I say, I don't have much, and I produce one of the words of banishing. I hand the word of banishing to him, and I say, this may be of use if she starts to become a problem.
He says, and what does this ward do?
This will banish her away. At least for a
where
short
will
while.
it send it?
What's it?
He says, where will
where will it send it? She also tries to think for a moment. Does she remember where it sends them?
Make an intelligence check.
Yeah. I
Remember,
knew you were gonna do that.
Yeah.
If I don't know, she doesn't know.
Correct. Do you remember? Does she remember?
Is this knowledge religion?
No, this is just a memory check.
Damn it.
Yep.
I got a 9.
This is where if you're playing a Scion or Psychic Warrior, they have something called auto hypnosis. They can focus and then they can do nice memory checks and things like that.
Automatically hypnotize themselves to remember everything they were trying to think about.
Yeah, you're not entirely certain. You know, it doesn't like send them to the spirit world. All you can recall is that they're just gone for a while. And the weaker the spirit, the longer they will be gone.
Okay. So I explained that to him.
Okay. Well, he says, why don't you hold on to this and you just stand close by since you know how to use it.
I then I bow to him and I say, very well, it is my sworn duty to do so.
Well, so AG, he looks at the kind of creepy knife twirling guy. He says, Kageki, go get one of the nails. You just see you see the skinny guy with the long hair, and he has kind of. You're not certain if he has shadows over his eyes because he's really tired or doesn't eat well, or if that's actually more like makeup over his eyes. You know, the shadows. But he does give a smile that is definitely chilling when AG tells him that. And now that you're in better light too, you see that the skinny guy with the knife wielding skinny guy, his hair has a reddish tinge to it as well. Looks natural rather than some sort of dye or something.
Wow.
So fairly rare amongst Ryogo people. Kind of like as rare as a girl with green eyes.
Looking for the girl with green eyes.
Yeah, there you go.
David Nopan. I'm going to take you to the hell where you'll be skinned alive. I love that movie. And plus, man. I also love that you said that I look like Kurt Russell. It makes me feel great.
Okay. All right. So Kageki, the faintly red-headed knife-wielding guy, Yakuza, he leaves. And Eiji is just standing there staring at Umako, whom the Yakuza woman had shoved down into one of the chairs. And Umako is just looking at all of you with varying levels of irritation. Definitely looking at you, Chiasa, with probably the most animosity towards you. No small amount of irritation towards Xing, however, as you were the one that lobbed the bubble down on it.
I'm looking with like a weird not anticipation, but like he doesn't like Jing doesn't like that we have to do this, but also he understands we have to find these kids.
I do turn to Shing and I do whisper to you as we're being stared at. I'm like, it is still kind of weird the way she's staring at us. And I'm like looking at her eyes while her eyes are locked with our eyes.
Well, we are the reason she's here, and both eyebrows are just like raised, like.
I do turn to you and I say, wait, don't you have spirit animals who can track people's like auras, perhaps?
I don't know if they do that. We could definitely try.
She just kind of puts her little rat clawed fingers on the edge of her, like, elongated face as she's kind of thinking to herself. Getting ready to watch whatever gruesome thing is about to happen while also trying to come up with a better idea for trying to track down people.
Okay. Kageki, he returns, and you see he has just a small velvet pouch in his hand. In one hand, in the other, he has a small hammer with a looks like a small ball peen hammer, but the head of it looks to be made of silver. The both of you have probably seen one of the most common. Do you know what one of the most common uses for a ball peen hammer in an agrarian society is?
Hammering nails?
No, that's usually claw hammers are used for that. You can use the ball peen hammer for it, but it's sometimes blacksmiths will use it to, pound out, let's say like a kettle that has a dent in it or something like that. You can use the knobby end or the flat part of the hammer to, knock those out. But there's another really, really common use for a ball peen hammer in an agrarian society. I'll give you a hint. It has something to do with cows.
Oh my.
Okay. I lived on a farm as a child for a little while. If you do not have a machine like they do at a slaughterhouse, which is, you just press a button and this thing has this like 6-inch bolt, stainless steel bolt, boom, that's it, in the head, dead, right? So if you learn how to do this really well, because the first few times you don't do it perfectly. It's not pretty, but a farmer will, you pet the cow, it's all nice looking at you, and you take the ball peen hammer, one swift whack, and then there you get your beef. So that's what a ball peen hammer is often used for. So.
Okay.
So you learn something new every day. So, but you don't think that that's what they're going to use it for. You're probably not going to eat the yokai.
I mean, maybe that is the thought. Yeah, so the thing is that my character isn't from farm stock, isn't from that kind of lifestyle.
No.
So I don't think she would really know. I think she would think they were just going to do something violent to her anyways.
Right.
I see a silver weapon. I know technically like silver is something that I would use as a Sohei hunting Oni.
Yep. Yeah, it works for a lot of shapeshifters, a lot of the Oni, and other types of demons too. So it's often very good for that. The Western world, cold iron is really good for that, but here, silver. So, all right. Yeah, he hands the Kageki hands Eiji the little velvet bag and the hammer, and then Eiji he spins the hammer in his hand deftly, and he looks over at the two of you. And he says, "Do either one of you want to try this?"
I I don't like. respond.
Okay. Well, he looks at you, Chiasa, and then he, Ag turns. He sets the hammer down on the table, turns the velvet bag upside down, and you see a silver nail. Looks like probably about the size of a 16 penny nail. If you know what that, it's probably a good 4 inches long.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Good, about a good 4 inches long, and has a broad head on it, also made of silver.
Tristan,
And
Tristan, what the hell, dude?
Dude, we're in Oriental Adventures.
That's a lot. That's a dick joke. He just made.
Silver, 4 inches long with a broad head. Oh my!
That's huge, guys.
Oh, here's a question. I know what I think that the parents would have done, but is Xing? This is what the question for Data in Star Trek.
Go ahead.
Is Xing fully functional, or is he more like a Ken doll?
Do you tap your PP to double check it works?
It's always working.
Do you actually go to the bathroom and stuff?
I can't use the bathroom.
So he doesn't eat or drink.
Oh, okay. So how do you know it's fully functioning?
Because it's
erect.
Morning wood.
Yes. Your parents gave you all the toys to play with. Our son, so powerful, so strong, won't stop playing with his meat, though.
It's actually it's part of my taboo, except it's something I have to do rather than something I'm not allowed to do.
He can't avoid it.
All right, Tristan. It's one thing for me to derail this with Big Trouble in Little China. It's another thing for you to derail this with your dick.
When my other character, when I was rubbing my pants to shoot the lightning arrow.
Oh my god! Yeah. Yes, I forgot about that.
That's how I get my power.
Rubbing the pants really hard. Oh god, that was so funny.
Xing has to crank one out every day, or he can't cast spells.
Oh god, this is new information I didn't need.
It's like crank charging a battery.
My character thinks you're so fucking innocent and dumb now, but you're just such a creep. Yeah.
until you find him charging his battery in its room.
While figuring out that you were fucking made from babies. Anyways, go ahead.
So what's going to happen is Xing finds out that if he does that 5 or 6 times a day, he gets bonus dice on lightning damage.
He gets to roll what's called the sticky dice. All right. Back to it. Let's go.
All right. Well, you're recording this, so this is age probably 16 plus here now.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
Some of it's gonna get cut and then put at the end in the blooper reel.
Oh man!
Here's 1.5 hours of gameplay, 2 hours of jokes.
Yeah. All right. Well, Eiji, he looks at Yumako, and she does not look so smug anymore. Especially when Kageki and the woman Orimono, they move to stand on either side of Umako, holding her shoulders. She may be in the chains, but she could, still get up and move until they grab her shoulder and arms. Her arms are bound to her side anyway, but they're holding onto her fairly tightly. And Eiji, he steps over with the hammer in one hand, the nail in the other, and he says, "This is your last chance to talk under your own volition, creature." Well, she she just narrows her eyes and she says, "You won't get anything from me unless you let me go." Oh, AG glances over his shoulder at the two of you. We'll see about that. And then he's looking at the two of you over his shoulder, but in one swift move, his head snaps back. He holds the nail to her forehead, and one swift strike slams the nail into her forehead. All the way.
All the way?
4 inches into the skull.
My jaw drops.
You hear a popping sound, which you're fairly certain was bone. And then you see a slight flaring of silver light from the broad head of the nail, and then Umako's eyes start glowing. She lets out just a startled gasp, and then her eyes glow. You can see actually, as her eyes are glowing, her eyes water a little bit, and the tears themselves look to be glowing too. AG turns to look at the two of you, and he says, "Now, you may ask her 5 questions, and she will have to answer them. Don't make them extremely complicated. Like, don't make them compound questions, and don't make it extremely complicated. The simpler the question, the better."
I do
5 questions.
I do like mouth open, and I like mouth open, eyes wide, delayed turn head, and delayed nod at him, just in like, okay.
Yeah.
And strangely, you see no blood coming out from underneath the wound, at least yet.
And I quickly turn to you, and I like really quietly say to you, "Okay, we really need to think about this carefully."
All right. Should we practice?
No. We should be careful not to say anything too loud. So I think we should ask what she is. Wait, no, we should ask if there are more of them here.
I think we should ask where she keeps her prisoners or her food.
Oh, yes. So all right. So I nod to you, and I say, "Yep, okay, you ask this question."
Should I say food or prisoners?
Food and prisoners. It's a single question.
Okay.
It's a compound question.
It's a compound question.
And he said, "Don't do that."
And I say, oh. Ask, specifically, where do you keep your prisoners you plan to eat? There you go.
Okay.
That'd be the best. I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
And I say, where do you keep your prisoners who you plan to eat?
Well, it's Yumako's voice, but it sounds strangely devoid of any emotion. She just, in the waterfall cavern beneath the district.
Desert? Damn! I thought I knew where they were.
Yeah, she says, in the waterfall cavern beneath the district.
Oh, I was right. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay, your turn.
Okay. Are there any more of you here in this city? More of your kind?
There is one other, and she will probably kill you.
Oh.
Where can we find this other?
She is where the prisoners are, watching over them, fattening them up.
I like do this thing where I like snap my fingers, and then I like put my hands together, and I'm like yes. and I look to Eugene. 2 more questions.
Okay.
Make them. And I look at you, Jing, and I like point my little rat finger at you, and I just like turn my head a little bit, cock it to the side, just like making sure it counts.
Right. Well, back to what you were thinking earlier.
Wait, what?
Back to what you were thinking earlier, if we can find out what she is, maybe we can find out what she is weak to.
Why don't we ask her that directly?
At what she is weak to? Do you?
Yes, what she is weak to. What is she? That could be our last two questions, or we can ask her what the meaning of the universe is to her. We can have these are we can ask her many questions. Listen,
have you ever seen Red versus Blue?
No, don't say that.
Do you ever wonder why we're here?
Shut up.
Red versus Blue. Oh man.
That is the secret of the universe. Okay, so I turn to her and say, we wish to know what you are. What is your species name?
The species name? We do not have a name.
Damn it!
But we call ourselves the Mothers.
And I say, damn it, that was a wasted question. We only have one more. And I turn to AG and I say, or not AG, but the leader guy.
That is AG.
Oh, that is AG? Okay, all right. So I turn to AG and I say, what happens after this? Oh, no. I don't say that out loud. I go walk over to him before I even start talking, and I say, I whisper to him, what happens after this last question?
It's not very pretty, but well, you'll see. She'll live.
Oh wow!
And I turn to you and like I hang my head low and my eyes drooped down in the sort of like a foreboding sense as I look up at AG and I say, "This Oni cannot live."
We'll take care of it. She's in our home.
And I should expect that you do not want any more creatures to. And I stop and I look over at Jing and I say, actually, I do have an interesting proposition to maybe keep her alive a little bit longer.
AG lifts an eyebrow. Oh.
I walk him over. I gently like put my hand on his arm and at like with a look of asking for permission to guide him over to the side of the room with me.
Well, he lifts his eyebrow again when you do that, but then he walks with you.
Okay, and then I wave my arm for Jing to come over. Jing, come out.
I go over.
And I say, Jing, this is brilliant. Why don't we keep her prisoner? Have her take us there. Now, we already know where it is, but use her as bait. We bring your men, we keep her captured. If she tries anything, I'll have my scroll of banishment on her. If she tries to attack us before we can kill her, before we can lure her sister, then we will send her away.
He says, I wouldn't be able to spare many people to send with you tonight.
Just simply those 3 that helped us before.
Well, AG is one of them.
Just simply, sorry, I preface it as, it's simply you 3 that helped us before. It would be just enough.
He says, I would not be able to do that. I can spare 2. That's all. He says something else is going on tonight that we need to attend to. And since we have such skilled exorcists, demon hunters amongst us, I think you would be able to deal with it if you have 2, a brother and a sister with you, right?
I brush my shoulder. Skilled exorcist.
I look over to him. I look over to Jing and I say, "Brother and sister," and I go, "What?"
No, there's no Luke and Leia stuff going on here now. All right. Well, yeah, AG says, well, if you want, I can send Arimono and Kageki with you.
I look at them and I nod and I say, what would it take to acquire one of those nails?
He says, I can give you 2 of the silver nails. That would be it.
I nod intensely fast. And I say, yes, please.
He says, that will be essentially your payment.
Ooh.
For helping us.
Very well.
As well as the service of my brother and sister here.
Of course, thank you.
And I say, well, then we will have to do more than just our very best to make sure that they return safely. And I bow, nod, and I go back over to ask the final question.
Okay. The final countdown. All right. Yeah. You see the tears that have been leaking from her eyes. It's gone on long enough now that her kimono is a little damp on her chest, and her eyes are still glowing, a little fainter than they were before, but and she still has that. Her mouth is slightly open. It's like her head is tilted at about a 45-degree angle, like she's looking up in the far the far upper wall, and just that slack look.
I go up to her and I look her in her eyes, and I say, with this first part not being a question, and I say, I know this is going to pain you most to tell me. How do we hurt you?
She says, with silver or our natural weapons.
Ooh.
Oh, or natural weapons, and that was the last question. I can't ask what that is. Damn it.
They said their natural weapons, right?
Yes, she says with silver or our natural weapons.
So probably whatever.
All right. After she answers that, you see the nail slowly pushes itself out of her forehead. Rather than looking silver, it now just looks like a dull iron nail, and it drops onto her lap and then onto the floor with a little clink.
Oh, wow.
And you see just a single drop of blood as looks like there's a tiny hole, probably not much larger than, say, a syringe would make, and a little drop of blood rolls down between her eyebrows as she blinks, and the glowing leaves her eyes, and the expression of pain across her face, it would be the equivalent of going from 0 to a one of the debilitating migraines, probably. In just a breath, and she leans forward and dry heaves.
I smirk and I stand back up from looking in her eyes, and I turn to Eiji and I nod, and I turn over to Jing and I say, "Let's go hunt some demon."
Very well.
Sound like Aragorn. Let's hunt some orc.
Let's hunt some orc. Hey, I could be badass like him as a rat girl.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I looked sexy when I said that, damn it. It was amazing. Her
To anybody who's a furry,
listened. her rat fur. The light sheened off it just perfectly. And
all right. Well, Kageki and Arimono tell you they know where the waterfall cavern is because there are some caverns beneath the city. They say that also no one has fully mapped them out because some of the areas are dangerous. Sometimes they collapse. And once or twice, they have caused sinkholes to form in a street or underneath a building.
All right. Actually, before we leave this building,
Mm-hmm. The Yakuza hideout.
yeah, I'd like to ask her another question.
Okay. Yeah, she looks exhausted at the moment, and she's just kind of she doesn't look nearly as smug as she did before. She looks, I mean, totally wiped out, and she just from the expressions on her face, you can tell she is hurting too. But she's still bound by those silver chains.
Yeah.
And of course, Eiji has stepped out, but Kageki and Arimono are standing in here. Kageki is doing like he has been most of the time. He has like it's a very small blade. Doesn't really have a handle. It just looks more like a kind of an oblong blade. Edges all around, kind of flat on one end, and almost like a long, slightly rounded arrowhead, but not attached to a shaft. And so but it's a knife. And he's just flipping it kind of between his fingers. Arimono, she's just standing there with her arms crossed. Looks like she's just waiting to hit something.
Yeah, I want to wait till she's done dry heaving.
Yeah.
And then walk up closer to her.
Okay.
And
well, she looks sideways. Her head's a little bit to the side, and she looks sideways at you with her violet eyes. Come to gloat, sorcerer.
I shake my head and then tilt it a little bit. What exactly are you a mother of?
She frowns.
She doesn't answer.
Well, yeah, she just looked at you and then she said, "Are you going to kill me?"
I stand behind Jing before he continues, and I let show between my two fingers in either finger between my hands is two more nails poking up.
Okay.
Well, since I have to answer truthfully, I won't kill you unless you force me to.
Well, she says, "What about the Yakuza?"
And I'll let you answer that truthfully.
I don't know them well, but your odds do not look good.
Oh no, you turned into a magic 8-ball. Odds do not look good.
Yeah. I cannot speak for them.
Yeah, outlook not good. All right. Well, she says, "To some we're known the mothers of death."
I just interesting, and I'll walk away.
Oh. She sits up just a little bit. Still looks a little nauseated and in pain, but then she a hint of the smug smile comes back for just a moment. She says, "My specialty, mother of disguise."
I will remember that.
She says, "Of course, the rat figured it out. Partly."
I say, I do that thing where I go, it's like snarl up to one side, and I'm like, I was mostly correct.
Well, Imako, she smirks at you and says, "You see how I look? This is how I always look. Far lovelier than you could ever be."
And I say, "You see how I look? More alive than you'll ever be.
How I look is also how I look.
Stop it, Shane.
All right, let's go.
It's a little funny dynamic thing. Stop it, Shane.
That wasn't true. I am wearing makeup.
Stop, Shane. Stop it. I give you like a little rap on the back of the head. Stop it.
I'll get in over there first. Okay. Huh? What? Oh, cool. Neat. I like it. Okay, cool. Get my water bottle. Okay, so in short order, still held in the silver chains, and Arimono is the one. She's holding Umako. Said she looks like the bruiser of the group. Kageki is he's lingering back, probably a few paces at least, and following Arimono's directions. It takes about half an hour for you guys to maneuver around. There's you move into a different district of the city. It's a commercial district, and between some buildings, there are some rocks that boulders, some natural rock formations that protrude up. And on the rock formations, people have left little effigies and things like that. It looks like almost like a community, just little art, just to modify the landscape so it just looks nice. Some little bonsai trees, things like that. But you guys climb up over the rocks and past a few ponds that look like they were chipped out of the stone to make like small, like little ponds for goldfish, things like that. And you come to a decent sized rock jutting up. So you guys are now probably up here on this decent sized rock formation. It's probably the equivalent in size of at least 4 or 5 houses, and you're about 20 feet above street level. And there's some moss and lichen growing here, and they start, or Kageki moves forward, and he pulls aside the stringy, damp lichen. You can hear water dripping, and it looks to be like a cave that descends downward, probably at a good 30-degree angle. Just a little bit of water trickling down it, and the darker green moss and lichen oozing down there. So it looks like it could be a little slick if you're not careful, but definitely descending down into darkness. And at this point at night, it's probably about 1 a.m. So.
Okay. And I want to say I asked them to like have her led out front just in case, so like by that chain.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have placed my scroll of banishment on her with preparation to slap it to activate it.
Okay.
Yeah. But that can't go
slap
wrong.
It. Yeah.
It's on her
all
back,
right.
though. It's on her back specifically, so it can't be seen nor grabbed by her while she's all chained up.
Okay. And then Arimono, she has a little bit of the slack of the chain wrapped around her fist, and is so essentially she has some of the silver chain wrapped around her fist, and then her fist is pressed right into the nape of Umako's neck.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah. And she has a wakizashi on her belt, not a full katana, just a wakizashi, and then it looks like a couple of knives stuck into. She's wearing boots, actually, more like a barbarian, and but she has a couple of knives in each boot. I forgot to tell you that my oversight. AJ had told you that the silver nails will work on not just yokai, but anything that is alive.
Oh, all right. And what are the silver nails called?
They're just silver nails. But what they do, you could call them the silver nails of truth.
I was going to, but that's genius. Thank you.
So,
right.
Yeah, what they do is you can force 5 questions well, it depends on the level of the creature, right? But essentially any creature under 10 hit dice gets no saving throw. You get 5 questions out of them, and you have to do it within 10 minutes though. So you essentially like 2 minutes per question. But anyway, you get 10 minutes to ask your questions. You have 5 of them, and while the nail is driven into the skull, they are also paralyzed.
Ooh.
Dang.
How long? So five questions in how many minutes? Maybe
10 minutes.
Okay, that's over 100 rounds of combat.
Yes.
That's almost like a certain bubble someone created.
Yeah. So if you manage to drive that thing into the skull of something in combat, I mean, it would be a cold shot. It'd be difficult, but yeah, you could try it.
Fantastic. Okay. I do, as she's next to us, I silently say to her, I say, if you attempt to warn this sister of yours, we will end her slowly and painfully.
She just looks at you.
Do I roll intimidate for that?
No, you're not trying to convince, or you're not trying to get her to do something.
Oh,
so
okay,
it's just you're just telling her. Yeah, she just looks sideways at you. I figure a rat like you will try to do it anyway, no matter what you say.
And I stop, and I look at her in her face, and I say, though I may be vicious against you demons, I do have honor, and I will abide by that honor, even for the likes of you.
Oh, so you're so different from the rest of your kind, then. There's always an exception to the rule.
There is no rule when you're the last one left. And I just start walking forward again.
Well, all right. So yes, you guys. I do want you to make either do you have athletics or climb?
I do, baby.
Okay.
I'm
make an
rat.
Athletics check.
I was born to be a rat. Athletics check. So wait, what kind of athletics are we doing? I have tumble, climbing. Give me one.
Do climbing. Yep, climbing. It's just going to be a DC of 10.
Okay. +2 to climb checks. I got a 12.
Okay. And and then
Tristan too.
Yes. I think I have a spell that can help you.
You guys are going down the slightly damp 30-degree angle in the cave. You have to actually, each of you have to make 2 checks.
He's like, I'll float to the bottom.
Yeah. Let's see.
2 checks? Okay.
2 checks.
I know I have a spell. I'm just trying to look up the verbiage here.
Okay. I rolled. Okay, so I rolled a 3 plus the 2 is 5. Can I use a fortune point?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm going to use a fortune point. Can it auto succeed, or do I need to reroll?
No. When you use a fortune point, you get a D6 that you roll, and you just add 2 whatever it is you did.
Oh no,
No, you don't have to do that if you think it's too low and you think a D6 isn't going to cut it. You don't have to use a fortune point.
Okay. I'm going to use a fortune point though.
I have a question.
It was completely toxic.
So Cat's Grace will give me a dex bonus, but that isn't going to help with climb, right? Because climb is strength.
Wait, is climb strength?
It is a strength bonus. Yes.
Ooh, okay. So I had a 6. Oh no, I still only got a 9. Okay, I got a 9 because I
Actually,
added
wait.
the D6.
You can use either one of you can actually. I'll give you a choice. You can either use climb or balance, whichever one of those you want.
I don't have.
If it's
that's
balance,
Dex.
if you don't have balance, then you can still use your dex modifier. So essentially, you can use your strength or your dex. It's kind of just a matter of,
I have no additional dex.
are you trying to finesse your way down, or are you just grabbing a hold of the rock?
Can I?
As you're going down?
Yeah.
So,
can I cast Cat's Grace on both of us? For it will cost 4 spell points.
Yes.
All right.
It's just the duration is longer for yourself than it is for someone else. But yeah, you can do that.
Okay,
All
so
right.
rolling a 9, and I want to say like if it's okay, I want to say like I'm starting to slip a little bit, and like maybe you see me doing that.
All right. So should I roll?
Yeah, it's okay. The way climbing works, climbing or balance, the way it's going to work, if you're within 5 of your target DC, you're not going to like completely fall, but you don't make any progress because you're having difficulty. If you miss by more than 5 on the DC, in this case, it's a DC is a 12. And so if you got a 6 or lower, or sorry, 7 or lower, or 7 or higher, then you're fine. You just don't make any progress, right?
Okay.
If you get the target of 12 or better, no problem. If you got a 6 or lower, then you fall. And usually with climb checks, most climb checks, if it's a distance of more than 10 feet, you make the person has to make 2 checks at the midpoint and then at the end point, which could be really bad. Let's say you're climbing a 40-foot cliff, you make a check at the 20-foot mark, and then at the very top where you can really screw up.
So I'm like really trying to find my footing right now, and I'm like not, and I see you trying to cast a spell. I'm like, no. I'm like, no, I've got this. This is the one thing I can do well, and I'm like really searching for handholds and footholds.
All right, then I won't cast Cat's Grace on her.
Okay.
So do I have to re-roll the check again?
Yes.
Okay.
Cat's Grace. For someone else, now I know what it says in the book, but I'm going with the 3rd edition rule instead of 3.5. When you cast it on someone else, it lasts for 1 minute per level. When you cast it on yourself, it lasts for 5 minutes per level.
All right.
So if you cast Cat's Grace on yourself, you're going to have that bonus of what is that? You're going to get a +4 bonus on your dexterity for that would be half an hour because you're level 6. So
okay, so
all right,
I rolled another 3, going up to 6. So that would be a fail unless I spend another fortune point.
That is correct.
Oh, yeah, all right. I'm going to be going down to 1 fortune point because I told Tristan to F off. And you know what? I accept that consequence, Tristan. You're being a good teammate, and I'm just being a dick. So I'm re-rolling. I'm going to do a fortune point. So, I got a 5 on that. So I got 6 plus 5 is 11.
No. You don't re-roll the D20.
No, I didn't.
Just keep...
Okay.
I was going to say, you just keep the roll that you have and then add a D6. Okay.
I rolled, meaning because I was trying to not suck at this roll when I re-rolled the D6 for another fortune point.
Okay, I get you.
So I got an 11. Do I make any progress?
No, it's a 12. It's your DC.
All right. Tristan.
So you said Cat's Grace gives me 4 +4 bonus?
4 points on your dex, which means you get a +2 on any of your dexterity checks, reflex saves, anything like that.
Okay. Well, that means I got a 10.
So what would your dexterity be right now?
Right now, it's just +1.
What would your dex be total right now?
My total dex.
Okay, so you have yeah, what's your normal dex? Let's put
13.
it that way. Okay, so you have a 17. That gives you a total of, you'd have a total of +3 on, like, say, balance checks, for example.
All right, that would give me a whopping total of 10. I think that I should use a fortune point
So,
as well.
well, the thing is, what happens when you get down, you travel down about 40 feet, okay, down this angle, which probably puts you roughly equal to street level, but you're still, it actually becomes just a little steeper at the midpoint. And then there's more dripping here and there, so it becomes a little slicker and wetter down here. A little more moss. That also, if you've done any spelunking, that lichen and stuff growing around is not your friend.
No.
So, and some of those stones can be damn slick, even though it looks okay, and then you take a step and you're like, son of a bitch. So, and then you can take a tumble, which is where ropes come in. But yeah, you wouldn't make any progress, but you don't fall down.
All
So
right.
what it does is at that point you're just allowed to. So just from my suggestion as a DM, I wouldn't bother with a fortune point as long as you're not. If you rolled like a 2, you might want to do it to keep yourself from falling. But if you know that, you know what your DC is, so that's also really nice. So, but you just don't make any progress. So if you get a 7 or better, 7 to an 11, you're not going to fall. You don't go anywhere. You're now looking for a better handhold, foothold, something like that.
Awesome.
So then you get a chance to just roll again.
Sounds good. I forgot about that. Shall we try again, Chiasa?
and I say, no trying necessary. And I rolled again, and I got 13.
Nice.
Okay.
So
I went from 9 to 11 to 13. because remember, I had those 2 failed rolls.
Right.
I added the
all right.
16.
Well, you start. Yeah. Okay. Well, then you start moving downward again. Said it's a little steeper here. The stone is a little wetter. There's actually not as much lichen and moss down here, but it's definitely wetter, and the stone is very smooth. But you managed to find enough handholds and footholds, and just find the right spots to walk. As you eventually come down onto a relatively even cave tunnel floor. Xing, what are you doing?
I rolled a 21.
Oh, that's too high. You overshot. No.
You go flying off.
Okay, well, yes. So you were actually right behind Chiasa. And then, of course, Kageki, he comes down behind you guys. You see, glancing over your shoulders, you see he's just kind of sliding down the center where it's damp, like like nothing. He has a fairly easy, if creepy looking grace to him. The way he moves, you almost think the way his fingers move and just the way his body moves, it's almost like makes you think of like a spider walking on water.
Oh.
And Arimono she came first, so she's down here with Umako, still with her fist, with the chain around her fist and the fist against Umako's neck, the back of her neck. So, yeah, you guys. Okay, what are you going to use for light? Chiasa, you can see in the dark. Xing, you cannot. So, are you going to do a light spell again?
I will.
Okay.
Exactly. So spell light.
Okay. Well, and since that's 0 level, no problem. Just poof, light spell. Costs you nothing.
I'll put it on me.
Okay. All right. So your body is glowing then. And let's see, that produces it's light 20-foot radius. Of course, you can see further out than the 20-foot radius, but it's you can see nice and clearly there in that
All right.
20-foot radius. So you guys, Arimono, where she's in front. She seems to know where she's going. Only once or twice does she have to kind of jerk on the chain and pull Umako. The first time that it happens, you notice that there's a narrow gap, perhaps only 13, 14 inches wide, like a crack in the wall. And it looked like Umako was trying to jerk over that way, like she was going to slip into it. She's a very slight woman, but that would be a tight fit. But, and then the next one looks like she is about to jump, and Arimono, she slaps her other hand down on Umako's shoulder, and you see above there is a shaft going upward that's a little bit wider, like almost like I don't know, just a hole or a chimney, natural chimney in the corridor ceiling. But it is trying to think if you guys have either one of you been in it, like deep in a cave? Have you gone spelunking?
Not really.
No.
Okay. Have you ever watched videos?
Yeah.
of people? Okay. All right. It very quickly, when you get underground in most not every place, there's there's a couple of caves in Mexico where they have these weird crystalline formations, and it lets sunlight get down inside the cave, and it is goddamn hot. Oh. But normally speaking, when you go underground, the majority of the time, and this has worked in my encounters, just from a few hundred feet above sea level to below, and then even when you go really deep in a cave, you're in like a good mile and a half, and I didn't do any of the scuba shit. I was not going to do that stuff. I'm like, nope, if I'm having to do that, I'm finished. If I need to walk it or wade it, but I'm not swimming it. But it's normally it drops to about 56 degrees. So it's cool. You almost always can see your breath because there's some moisture. Almost always some moisture. You encounter an unfortunate amount of cave crickets, and they are some nasty insects. Even I've had tarantulas. Tarantulas will not eat cave crickets. They're like,
oh my God.
A tarantula will eat mealworms. They'll eat regular crickets. They'll eat grasshoppers. They'll eat smaller tarantulas. They'll do all kinds of stuff. They will just leave cave crickets alone. Cave crickets will bite the shit out of stuff too. They're some nasty things. But a tarantula is discerning enough. It's like, I'm not going to eat that. So cave crickets are just nasty. And they can get really big, and we're in a fantasy world too. So you can see right. some cave crickets that'll get up to maybe 4 or 5 inches in length. Not Jeez. Quite, like the King Kong movie, but they and when they bite you, I mean, they'll bite you like a horsefly. So they suck. Right. So yeah, there's cave crickets here and there. Then you can see like some of the moss can be white, and if you touch it, as you guys find out fairly quickly, it can release spores that are just they're just really annoying to your nose. So they can cause sneezing and some runny eyes. So you guys encounter a number of things as you wander through these caves for probably a good 15 minutes. Thankfully, most of the directions that lead off from this cave, this corridor, they're narrower and smaller, so you figure you could make your way back fairly easily. There's not a lot of twists and turns, and it's not going to turn into a maze like, oh my gosh, there's 3 or 4 different directions to go. There's a few few places in which the ceiling gets a little bit lower where you have to crouch and almost duck walk, and a few other places where the ceiling expands upward decently. But you both have the impression that you are still at a very slight angle going down the whole time. And every now and then, here and there, like some places it'll look a little drier, and then here and there in other spots, you will see trickles of water coming down the wall, or occasionally a drop of water will. This inevitably happens right in the eyeball, just nice cold water right in the eye as you're walking along. So, so after a little while, you guys have some definitely little smudges of dirt and mud, damp, and just has this like this chill, humid feel to it. Enough to give you a chill after a while. And like I said, and then you can, like I said, you can see the moisture from your breath as you're exhaling, and it's after a while you get this feeling, once again, as you're angling down just a little bit, it's not enough that you're going to slide or anything like that, but there are hundreds and hundreds of tons of stone above you. And Ryogo does occasionally have ground quakes. All it would take is one little ground quake, and that ceiling. No more adventurers. And I'll just say from experience, when this is one of my favorite caves, went into it, I've been in this cave like, a dozen times, easy, like over the last couple of years, go in and suddenly like, hey, that slab fell down and now we have to crawl to get through here. Whereas before we could stand up, like our tallest guy, Joey, he was like 6'4". He could walk along fine. Now I'm 5'9". I have to get on my hands and knees and crawl through here. So there's some dangerous shit that can happen. I mean, this slab was probably 15 feet long that had dropped. And it was just like, oh, things are different now. So like, I'm glad we were not in here when this happened. So
things are different now.
Yeah. And you can also, like, in some of those caves we went to as well, you can tell when it it flooded here probably within the last week, because there's a mud level that's equal to my, like around my chin or shoulder level that wasn't there a couple of weeks before, so you can never go into a cave if it's been raining in the last few days, or if it's supposed to rain that day. You could be dead. So it's so anyway, just to give you that, being in a cave, if you're not accustomed to it, it can be quite oppressive. Now in Nezumi, I'm going to assume that you're accustomed to what you are, crawling through tight places, and when you were smaller, hiding from people because some people meant ill will towards you. So you're probably fine with it, but it's still a little. It can be anyway for some people very oppressive and claustrophobic, even if you're accustomed to being in tighter spaces. So that's the feeling that you have. You have hundreds and hundreds of tons, maybe thousands of tons of rock above you. You're down here. There's just 5 of you. 2 of the individuals you don't know well, but they seem to be allies. One of them definitely would mess you up if she had the chance. So, all right. But once again, after what you're guessing is about 15 minutes, but that's another thing that is disorienting about being in a cave. You cannot determine time unless you have some timepiece, a candle, or an our age clock or watch, something like that. You can become very disoriented about the time that it is.
Just like Minecraft.
Like, what do you mean it's 3 a.m.? I need to go to work.
I knew you were going to call it out.
I didn't bring a bed.
I was thinking the same thing. Where's the torches?
Funny.
All right. Okay, so you guys, eventually though, the cave does split for the first time after about that 15-minute walk. It does split left and right, and about equal sizes in the corridor, at least the width. It's probably about, on average, I would say the corridor that you're moving through is it averages around 4 feet wide. Sometimes it widens out to 6-7 feet, and a few times it's narrowed down to about 2 feet, so you can still walk without having to turn sideways, but almost shoulders almost scraping the sides. And at no point did you have to more than like once have to get down and crawl on your hands and knees. That wasn't the easiest for Umako because Arimono was just chatter on the ground, just shoving her forward. So Umako is not clean now at all. She's looking very unhappy about it. But you go to the left, you see Kageki, however, he goes off to the right.
I say, where are you going?
He just gives you a grin. He's not spoken to you. You haven't heard him speak at all since you met him. But Arimono says, these go to the waterfall cavern, but that one leads to an overlook.
Oh,
he'll be able to see things if he needs to.
And I say, you should go with him.
Oh, if you think so, I will.
You're the one who uses magic.
That is true.
Also, I don't know how well you can hear me. I'm standing at a distance, and also I'm sitting across the room.
What? No, I can hear you. Yeah, I'll go with him.
Okay. Well, you follow Kageki, and Chiasa, you are following Arimono. Within maybe another minute. For you, Chiasa, about a minute and a half for you, Xing. I will describe it for you. You see a small underground lake. There is some light in here too. It looks like some phosphorescent moss is growing in certain spots on the ceiling and the walls, giving off a very, very faint kind of greenish white glow. Probably not bright enough that you would be able to comfortably read by it, but definitely bright enough that you can navigate walking and see other individuals. The sound in here is, because it is, that's the other thing in a cave. It is, other than the occasional drip. Oh, cave crickets make no noise, right? They don't chirp or anything. They're just there. So the only noise you heard down here, it's really strange because, traveling through the woods, there's ambient noise. There's a breeze, something. In a cave, if you don't have water flow, you can stand still and hold your breath. And I mean, it's that weird where you've been somewhere so silent that your ears have this kind of little shh in them because your ears are not accustomed to that amount of silence, especially people who live in town. But yeah, it's weird. So, but in here, it's very loud, as you can hear water rushing, which is what's feeding the lake. You can see on the far side of this lake, which is probably just a little bit larger than, say, an NBA basketball court. Actually, probably about twice the size of an NBA basketball court. So, if you were to take out all the bleachers and everything, that's what I'm talking about. So a full gym size. So a small lake or very large pond. But on the far side, you can see the phosphorescent moss grows a little heavier, so it's a little brighter over there. And you can see a waterfall, probably a good 6-7 foot wide, gushing water coming down into the lake, leaving ripples across the surface the whole time. And on the right side of the lake, from where you are, Chiasa, you guys are kind of coming in we'll just say, it doesn't matter what direction. Either way, the way you're coming in on the lake, on the right side, you can see a ledge and a little bit of a light that's probably about 40 feet from you. And that's where you see the light is approaching. And that is where, from the look of the light, that must be where Xing and Kageki are going to come out, where there's a little ledge up there. And on the left side of this lake, so to speak, where you are, there is almost like a little beach. There's a little bit of sand it's smooth rock. It's very damp in here. It looks like all the surfaces are damp, and kind of shiny, the rock. But you can walk around the left side. There's a little bit of sand. It's probably a good distance on average between 5 to 7 feet between the edge of the water and the wall. And you could walk all the way around to the waterfall. And it looks as if near the waterfall is another cave corridor leading out of this room. So, and logically, there must be also under the water, there must be some way for this water to leave. Otherwise, as much as the water is pouring down through the waterfall, this would be filling up. So there must be a good size outlet underneath the water. So.
Okay. So I motioned over to Mako, and I say to her, I say, if you think the way ahead is safe enough, I'll be nearby and I'll protect you. And I pull my blade silently.
Are you talking to? You mean Aramano?
Or Aramano?
Yes. Yes, Aramano is the Yakuza woman.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Umako is the chick you don't like.
Oh,
the violet-haired, violet-eyed
bitch. No.
Yeah, yes, her. Yes, all right. Well, Aramono does say, she says, well, I don't know much about she says, I've seen this cavern twice before. She says, some criminals have used these caves to try to evade the authorities. She says, but she says, I know that a couple of them dove into the water and nobody saw them again after they dove into the water. So she just shrugs a little. I wouldn't go in myself, even though I can spell. She says, a good rule, don't get into water you can't see into the bottom of.
Fair enough.
I nod and I say wise words.
So yeah, so you two are walking along the little beach.
Apparently.
And now is about when you get probably a good 30, 40 feet out there when Xing, the ledge, it's probably a good 25 feet wide here, just kind of expands out. This would be a good spot, the way it opens up, where you could even have a little camp up here overlooking the lake. It's probably about 12, 15 feet below you. Just from up here, it looks like, just the water looks black just because of, how dark it is down there. Even with your light spell, which, just reflects off the water, and then the phosphorescent mosses. And so it's a decent sized little lake. And like I said, the surface is rippling continually because of the water. But Kageki, you just see he crouches down along the edge, and then you see he pulls out this strange kind of off of his side. It just looked like it was part of his clothing, but then it's like this little bamboo rod, it looks like, and then he unfolds it, and then you can see it has a cord attached to it, and it's essentially a folded up bow. And then he pulls out from his calf. It's a very small bow too. It's more like the size of the bow is maybe about 2.5 feet high, and then he pulls of his right calf. You can see he was wearing. It also looked like these bamboo shoots or something he had on his just part of his outfit on his calf. But you realize they're actually very tiny arrows or quarrels could small enough they could fit into a crossbow too. But and yeah, he's just crouching there, watching carefully.
Can you see? Well,
he glances over at you, with his shadowed eyes, and he just nods.
Can I only see so far with my light spell? Like you said, like 20 feet?
Are
You can see
where you're at?
I am illuminating where I'm
Oh
at.
my god!
Yes, he is. Yeah, his body. He casts the light spell on himself, so he himself is like a glowing mechanical deity or
You're
something.
a fucking nightlight.
Um,
You're a
it makes a good beacon if somebody wants to shoot him. So yeah, you can see very clearly out to 20 feet. Then you can see dimly out to around 40 feet. But because of the phosphorescent mosses in this cavern, this lake cavern, you can see all the way across.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can see the entire cavern. Like I said, there's those phosphorescent, kind of white with a hint of green, the mosses that are glowing along the walls, little bits in the ceiling. There's a lot of stalactites hanging from the ceiling. Not really any stalagmites on the floor, but yeah, a lot of stalactites hanging from the ceiling. From various sizes, like the size of your pinky all the way up to the size of a horse's leg or something like that. So, decent sized stalactites to very, very tiny ones that have only been forming for, few years. And then, like I said, and then that waterfall on the opposite side.
All right. I'm just gonna dig through my bag of action figures and think about what I can use to help if something happens.
Both you roll a d20.
All
right. Yes, sir.
7.
Oh, any modifiers?
No, just tell me what you get.
5.
5 and a 7. All right. So, let me roll. I sent you guys a picture. Laura got me these metal dice. These metal dice. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that container is pretty sick too.
Yeah, I opened it up and I thought she had got me another pocket watch because I collect pocket watches. And I'm like, oh, another pocket watch. And she did get me a pocket watch, but this one, she gave me that one after she gave this one to me. so, and I'm like, oh, no. So if you look on Amazon, there's quite a few neat looking, it's the size of a pocket watch and these are tiny dice, but they're really cool. So little metal dice.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're balanced fairly well. All right. Arimono is walking along holding, Umako like she has been for a while now. Every now and then she'll, kind of adjust her shoulders a little, like she's a little stiff, but not really a big deal. Kageki, next to you, Shing, you hear him. He inhales sharply and he nods. It kind of nods and motions with his bow, and following the direction where he is, you can see. Under the rippling dark water, you see a few bubbles appear, and then maybe about in the middle of it, and then a few more bubbles appear, but a few feet further away, and then a few more bubbles a few feet further away, definitely going in the direction of your ratty friend.
All right.
And from about the way the bubbles are appearing under the water, you figure probably be there within about 10 to 15 seconds.
Okay. I'm
the edge of the water.
I will be pulling out magic missile out of my bag.
Magic missile.
Okay.
Magic missile.
Okay. Let's see. You hear from Kageki. You just hear a little little whistle, and Arimono. You see, she turns, and whatever it is, it must be a sign because Arimono, Chiasa, you see Arimono turns, and she's still holding on to Umako, but then you see she pulls her wakizashi with her right hand while still holding on to Umako, the chain around Umako's neck with her left. So yeah, she turns and she's looking. She looks over towards, your friend and her friend, her compatriot, and you can roll a perception check now.
Okay. Let's see what I got. +5 for perception, and I rolled. I got a 9. I got 9 total.
9 total. Okay.
Yeah, let's see what I get. Big roll. Big numbers. Yeah. We're rolling so good, Tristan.
You know what? Maybe it's yeah. Maybe you're getting all these really low rolls out of the way now,
yeah, perhaps.
so that you can have some better rolls when the combat starts.
For all my future sessions. Yeah. Get them all out of the way. Why?
All right. Okay, so you and Aramono. Let's see. Does she? It won't. All right. Chiasa, you will not be surprised as Arimono, she's pointing her wakizashi and she's look at the water surface. And when she points, then you do indeed see some bubbles. So I can get initiative from everyone. So Chiasa, you will not be surprised because Arimono got a 16 on her perception.
So
Nice.
I will not be caught flat pod.
That is correct.
Because I don't have normal feet. All right.
Well, no, you have normal feet for yourself. Other people look weird to you.
Yes, this is true. God damn it. All right. Never mind. I got a 7 for my initiative.
Oh. Wow, yeah, you're the low roll tonight.
Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah.
Jasper, this has to be the last time we get our low rolls out of the way. I got a 4.
Oh my god, Tristan! Ooh. We need to change our surfaces when we're
Wow.
rolling. This is bad. I think it's because I'm rolling my dice into other dice. I need to stop that. And rolling on the sheet, too. I'm not going to do that either anymore. That's just bad luck. So, alright.
So, a 4 and what was that, a 7 or an 8? 7.
7.
Yeah. Yep, alright. Gonna give, let's see, Arimono. Ooh, not so good. Arimono gets a 9.
Oh, no!
And, Kageki, on the other hand, he got a 19.
Because she's got a hold of that evil bit. Well, no. Does he? He or she? Oh, no. That's the he. Fuck!
Yeah, Kageki, he's gonna go first, but he's actually delaying because, he's just watching the bubbles.
Right.
The fizzy bubbly.
All right. So actually, he's going to go on Pip 17. So something comes up out of the water, and it looks like at first, the water streaming off of her. It looks like very similar to Imako, right? But instead of purple hair, this woman has dark green hair. It's almost black, but you can see just in the hint of maybe it's the phosphorescent light which is making it look a little bit green, but you just get the feeling it's a little bit off from black. And she's wearing, where Umako is wearing, the nice violet and white with slightly blue trim robes. This woman is wearing red robes with gold trim.
Ooh.
But yeah, she comes up out of the water almost as if she is walking on the water.
Oh, shit. Oh, no.
And she comes up out of the water just like maybe 10 feet from the shore, and she is moving quickly as she comes surging up out of the water. And within about 3 seconds, I'm gonna send you a picture of her going from looking like an attractive, probably older than Imako, like more like an attractive matronly woman, to what I'm about to show you.
All right.
Gosh.
I'm ready for it.
She's like, I'm still down.
I'm still down bad.
I'm still down.
Shit, they want to kill me. Well,
Oh.
like hands? Like, oh, okay, yep, that's a thing.
Yeah, that's a little closer to some John Carpenter, like, McCready.
Yep. All right. And I can't do anything because it's not my turn, right?
That is correct. Yep, Kageki is going to go first.
I cry.
And he's unloading with two of those short arrows at her back. Oh, one of them completely misses. Just clatters onto the beach. The other one hits her right in the ribs.
Ooh. Visceral damage.
All right. Let's see now.
This hoe is slightly more destroyed than she was before.
Okay. All right. Doesn't look as if it bothers her a lot. She does let out a hiss, but she does not stop her forward momentum and swinging those hideous clawed arms, and her head kind of being juggled on those hands that are coming up, kind of forming a neck. You can see little strands of tissue and veins hanging out of the neck that go into the torso, right? Yep. Which is partially holding it, but but the twisted hands and the smaller hands at the waist are writhing too. She is attacking. She lets out an ear-piercing shriek. Oh, no. I need each of you to make a will save.
Look out for the big claw, Jasper.
Oh, I am. I have a +7 in will, so I mean that's so bad. Oh no!
I said last one.
I got a 9.
He was like, no, just one more.
I got a 9 total.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so if you what'd you roll? It's going to affect you too.
I rolled a 21.
Yeah.
Oh, you fuck.
Oh, okay.
I love it. That's
all right.
So beautiful.
You feel you feel this
you feel great.
You feel great. Yeah, for a moment, you feel this keening, this screeching rush over you. It's unpleasant, and it echoes and passes, and you can tell that it was some sort of supernatural attack, but you felt just a hint of discomfort. But other than that, no. Chiasa, you on the other hand,
I'm dead.
You are shaken.
Oh no! I'm shaken. Okay, what is that?
Not stirred.
God,
that is going to give you.
Damn
it. You shaken. You are going to have a penalty of 2 on your attack rolls, skill checks, and attack rolls, skill checks, and saving throws for for a little bit. You're not certain how long, but it's at least affecting you right now. Okay. As you feel this fear. It's as bad as when you were a little ratling girl running away from some really nasty older, like mid to older teenagers, mid to late teen adolescents who you were fairly certain were going to kill you because you had seen them doing some very bad things to a couple of house cats. And then they saw you, and you figured you were going to be next. So that fear that you felt like someone was after you and going to kill you, that same sort of fear is hitting you right now as this creature. You are certain she is going to eat your innards.
Okay.
That was her supernatural attack. Now her physical attack. Oh. She is going after... Yeah, she is going after both you and Arimano, as when she steps forward, her limbs elongate. So even though you and Arimano are probably a good 6-7 feet away from each other, she easily, like, her limbs elongate. They stretch from underneath the kimono. They're thin, like so thin that it looks like she shouldn't be able to do what she's doing. But then again, you know, the way it's stretching, and you hear the sinew and the cartilage popping, snapping, and you even see some of the skin ripping. And it's not as bloody as what you think it should be. It's almost like an individual whose blood is half dried underneath.
Okay.
And what is your armor class, Chiasa?
My armor class, good sir, is 13. Can I activate my Key Frenzy, though?
You can do it as a... Yes, you can.
Okay, I activate Key Frenzy and go kind of like my eyes start to glow.
Okay. Okay.
I do have a
yes, you
armor check penalty, though.
Why is that?
Because I'm wearing leather scale, I believe.
It's yeah, that's all that means is that's a penalty on like your dex modifier because the armor is a little clunkier. But yeah, you don't. Yeah, you're fine. It's still a 13, so you don't. Yeah. Yep, that's not an issue for you. It would be an issue if you were like a Yakuza and you're trying to do a tumbling check. You know, like, oh, I'm going to do a cartwheel, you know, or do like a double flip over that guy's head and stab him in the back. Well, then you get a penalty of 2 because the armor's heavier and you're like, oh. So you couldn't flip around as easily wearing that armor as you could if you're just wearing, you know, like pants and a shirt. So
right.
That's where that penalty comes in when you're trying to do, you know, finesse sort of stuff. Okay. Yes, one of her nasty, long, stretchy, skin-ripping claws cuts across you, and yep, it rips into your shoulders. Since you're wearing armor, it doesn't actually break your skin, but it definitely hits with bruising force for 5 points of damage.
Damn.
So yeah, it's enough to, you know, knock you a half step. She also hits Arimono. She got a critical on Arimono.
Damn.
For 11 points of damage.
Ooh.
So yeah, Arimono, she takes it. Now remember, she's wearing she's just basically wearing some you know, kind of like those we would call them greaves. I forget exactly what they call them, but anyway, dote or something on her thighs and on her forearms. That's it. So she takes a nice rip across her biceps, almost hitting her chest. So yeah, she definitely has some deep claw marks on her upper left arm at the moment. And then it's going to go down to it's Arimono's turn, actually. All right. She stabs, lashes out twice. She only manages to hit this twisted female's body once, though, with her wakizashi. And yeah, you see her blade. It cuts through the kimono and presumably into the flesh. You can't see. It didn't do a lot, as the creature barely flinches back from her. And the other one she tried to then stab, but one of the smaller hands stretched out and just managed to bat the blade away. So it's down to wait, which one of you had a 7? Is that Chiasa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then and Shing's at a 4. Okay, so yes, Chiasa.
Okay, so I go next?
Yes.
All right,
It is your turn,
absolutely.
Chainsaw.
So I did draw my blade, so my blade's out.
Mhm.
Is her claw still on me?
Oh no, it's just a slash, and then she's rearing back for another one.
Okay.
On her turn.
I go running forward. And I say, as I'm running forward, I say, wait. So am I right next to the sister still?
Yeah, you're probably, like I said, about between 5 to 7 feet away from her. So
Right. I then. Oh, I want. This is a risky move. And now, fuck. I wish I could ask Tristan if I can do this too. Because I want to take.
cannot because it.
I know that'd be metagaming. I want to take my Blado, and I want to possibly put it up to that Mako's throat. I want to put it up to her throat and try to threaten that other monster to stop.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that real quick. And I'll have the blade on her throat and my hand next to the banishing scroll on her back, held action.
Okay. Alrighty. So you're holding your action until the next round to see what she's doing.
To see what either one of them are doing. So I'm just holding my blade to her throat, just yelling, saying, "Stop where you are."
All right. All right. So you're holding the blade there, ready with the banishing Shing. You see what has transpired thus far? It is. You may take action.
All right.
So, yeah, like all this occurred over just the last 3 to 4 seconds. It's like, whoa. So, yeah.
Yes. I had just pulled out my magic missile action figure or stone.
Right.
And so,
all right.
I'm going to do magic missile.
All right. Well, they unerringly strike. You're level 6, so yeah, it's going to be 3 of them. So 3d4 plus 3 damage.
Let's go.
Unless she has.
After I tell her not to move.
Yeah. So 13 damage.
Okay.
And my
Nice.
new way that I cast magic missile is I act like I have a mega buster. I hold the stone out with my right hand, and I hold my right wrist with my left hand, and I'm acting like I'm firing.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Like Mega Man.
Yeah.
Okay, that's also almost like how in that Ghostwire Tokyo how you cast spells.
Oh.
Yeah, he'll hold his hands out and just so it's like he's shooting a gun. Like the palm is the barrel.
Nice.
So
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, that's definitely better than a little better damage than what the Wakizashi did. And the arrow. So yeah, she has an arrow just sort of sticking out of her back. A slash from the Wakizashi and a much more effective attack from the. Oh wait, I forgot. What do your magic missiles look like?
They're like red beams of light.
Okay. So laser light show. Okay.
Yeah.
You're well ahead of your time.
Yeah.
There's a light here.
All right. Okay, Chiasa, you were holding off while the creature. No, Kageki gets to go first. The twisted female, she spins in a strange dance right there at the water's edge, avoiding both arrows shot by Kageki. Once again, he doesn't make a noise other than just an irritated exhale.
Right.
And so it will be, Chiasa. So you're threatening.
Yep.
And you're holding off.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she doesn't look like she gives a shit as she is surging. However, she is surging towards you solely, it looks like, as her twisted arms are coming out to slash at you. What are you going to do?
She's coming to slash at me.
It looks like it. Let me check something here. Yeah, you. She's opening her.
I get to do.
Well, I'm describing something you're seeing.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you see her mouth opens wider than it should open, and her slightly, not like a snake, but just a slight fork in her tongue. Her tongue kind of lolls out, and anyway, yeah, it's like a silent scream. She's not making noise, but yeah, her head lifts up a little bit higher on the hands and the stringy parts that are still attaching her neck to her torso into the neck hole, and yeah, and then her arms, the way they're twisted and flinging around and stretching, yeah, she can reach around to get at you.
Okay, I'm going to immediately, because I get to do 2 attack actions with my Key Frenzy, correct?
Yes.
I'm going to immediately slice the throat of this woman, and then as the arm of the creature comes closer, chop sideways against it.
Okay. Because she's virtually helpless. You're not going to get a coup de grace on her, but I'm going to give you triple damage on her, though. Yes. On Umako.
She deserves to die anyways. Although I do have something planned for this other thing. I wish I had a third thing, but that's fine. 2 is fine.
Do the damage.
Cutting the throat, slicing sideways.
Yep.
Hands still at the ready for that scroll. I know I can't do it right now, but hands still at the ready for the scroll.
Okay.
Okay, so how do I still have to roll to hit to slice the neck? Because I basically have my blade pressed on it.
Yeah.
I know she has a name, but I'm gonna call her the neck.
Yeah, Umako. But you you need to roll to hit, but you get a +4.
Okay, a +4 to hit. What modifiers do I add to hitting? The base attack bonus, right?
Yeah.
So, base attack bonus and then another +4?
Yes, but you also... And then you add your strength bonus and any magic from your weapon.
Oh, shit. Okay. This be my magic blade, which is a +1.
Yeah.
So...
yeah, see, it would be good if you had that down on your blade, just kind of as a normal, like, what to hit with it. That way, then you don't have to figure that out.
That's right, that's true. So... 5, 9, and strength is 10. So I get a +10 to this. So it's 21.
Okay. Remember, you are shaken at the moment, so you get a -2.
Back down to 19, baby.
Okay. That is still... You cut her across the neck, so you can do triple damage.
Ooh.
Triple slicey damage. Okay, so it says I roll 1d8 +2.
Mm-hmm.
Is that critical, though? No,
it's not a critical.
Roll a 19. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a critical. What you're doing is it's just kind of a situational bonus I'm giving you because she is virtually helpless. She can, flinch and move a little bit, so it's not like she's unconscious or something like that. But yeah, you're definitely have a distinct advantage on her as she is, her arms are chained to her sides and she's still being held by Arimona.
So that's the first attack. Oh, I forgot. I actually have a +2 to my strength. So technically I would have still been at a 21 because I would have been at 23.
That's true.
Yeah, so never mind. I forgot about that because of the key frenzy. So, that being said, I rolled a 4 and an 8 for 12, and then are both of those +2, or is it just 1 +2? Just the 1
Okay, what now?
+2. For the damage, because my sword says 1d8 +2.
Oh, no, you triple all of it. So it's going to be 3d8 plus 6.
Oh! Alright, 3d8 plus
Or
6.
in other words, a d8 plus 2, 3 times.
Yes.
So, yeah, so 3d8 plus 6.
Ooh, I got, 10. 18 plus 6 is 24 damage to one throat that should be bleeding profusely.
Okay, yeah, she's bleeding significantly as she lets out a and yeah, now no noise right now. She's almost dead weight in Arimono's hand.
Oh! Yay. And I do say to her, a promise kept.
Now that's because you can get a flurry of blows. That means you could attack twice, though. Just so you know.
Oh, so I get to. So wait, do I get to double attack?
No. What happens when you do flurry of blows? You normally get one attack, but when you do your key frenzy, you get an extra attack if you want. The only issue is if you make two attacks, you just get a penalty of 2 on each attack, but you get 2 full attacks.
Oh, a penalty of like 2 to the hit?
To hit, not damage.
Oh,
just
that's
to
fine, yeah.
hit.
Then I'll take the 2 penalty, because remember, my second hit was going to be I'm slicing the monster's arm that's coming at me.
Yes. All right, well,
And
roll
the
to hit.
reaction. Yeah. So. Ooh! Is a 19 in my crit range? Like, I mean, 19 on the die.
Does that depend on the weapon?
It's what would be a broadsword in a technical sense.
Yes, 19 to a 20 for a broadsword, actually.
Ah!
Yes.
Look at times 2 for everything. Okay, so not only that though, but I just want to calculate this. So it's +4 for this, +3, -2, 5, minus another 2, 3. So it would have been 22.
Okay.
Yeah, so it absolutely is.
Your blade carves into the arm of this twisted creature.
Could it say I'm like cutting straight up from the hand? Or it's however you want to do it, but yeah. That's how I want to do it.
You go ahead and roll damage and I'll tell you what happens.
Alright, yes sir. Sorry, you are the DM. I don't get to say what happens.
Well, no,
that's just my hopes and dreams.
Unless you can go specifically for a called shot, but remember, called shots give you a penalty of 4 to hit. So if you're trying to specifically like chop a hand off, you're going to get a penalty of 4 to hit. And there could be a higher degree of difficulty if you're going specifically for something else, like you're standing 30 paces away and you're trying to shoot someone in their left eye.
Right.
That might be a -6 or something. So
now, what did we rule for the crit damage? Didn't we rule that it was going to be double the total die roll?
Oh yeah. So you had the choice. You could just roll 2 dice, or just roll 1 die and then double it. So I think I think that's what you'd say. Just roll 1 die and then double it.
Yeah, so I rolled 1 die, doubled it, so it's a 6, so 12 plus 2, 14.
Well, no, not +2, +4. You double that modifier.
Oh, I doubled the double. So in that case, 16.
So it'd be 16.
Oh, 15?
No, not like that. No. What happens is, so it normally does a D8 +2, but you're going to roll a D8 +2. And then double that total roll. So if you could get anywhere, in other words, you could get a 3 to a 10, right? And then whatever it is you roll, you just double it. So you double the bonus.
Okay, so I rolled a 6, so that's +2 is 8.
Then you double that, so it's 16.
16. Yep, that's what I
Yeah.
was doing.
Yeah, because you add in your bonus, then you double it.
Yep,
what
yep,
you did first was you doubled the die roll, then added your bonus.
Oh, okay.
You're just cheating yourself out of a couple of points that way. Now, if you had like a strength of you had like a really, really nice like belt of giant strength, let's say you had a strength of 26, that's going to give you a +8. If you got a critical, with your sword, it'd be D8 +8. So let's say you rolled 8, that would be 16 points. Then you would double it. So you don't want to cheat yourself out of that strength magic bonus.
Got a really nice porcelain man I could throw into combat.
Hey-o.
I'm going to throw you at them.
Toss it.
Go ahead. Toss me.
You have to toss me. You gotta toss me. It's Harrison Ford. But don't tell Leia. No. All right. Yeah, that's all right. Awesome. So, what does it do when I slice?
The 16 damage. Oops. You almost carve totally through the forearm. And so that's about what happens here. You cut through both the bones, and it's hanging by just a shred of meat.
And I let loose a.
Looks like meat's back on the menu.
Meat's back on the menu, boys. Go ahead, Tristan. All right. That's it for me then.
Yep. Okay. Well, yes. So she is not attacking with that arm. She is attacking with the one other arm, but her other attack. I need you to make a reflex check.
Me?
Have you played Left 4 Dead?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Do you remember what the spitters do?
Oh, the spitters?
No. You remember what the spitters? Yeah. She hawks this foaming. It looks kind of like a cross between the dark water in the lake and an inordinate amount of phlegm as it just goes, and it's bubbling, kind of gray, greenish, bubbly, and she just goes.
Oh.
I got a 14, and that's including the -2.
Okay, so only half damage.
Oh god, I'm gonna get hawked on. Not quite. Yep. This isn't the Hawk 2 I wanted.
Yeah, this is her foreplay.
Talk to her and spit on that thing.
Okay, so you only take half damage. Okay, 7 points as some of this caustic spittle, phlegm, splatters you in your fur. It sizzles a little bit, so yeah, you do take 7 points of damage, though.
God damn.
Makes a couple of pits on your armor, and definitely, leaving some blisters underneath your fur there. Wasn't a full blast, so there's at least that.
It's a half blast. Wouldn't be the first time I was half blast.
All right. Okay, so that was the slashing attack is armor class is a 13, and
it's 2 attacks.
Well, she was going to get 2 claw attacks, and then she gets a supernatural attack too.
Ooh, that's
either a spell-like ability or a supernatural attack. Yeah, some creatures are freaking scary when they have like the multi-attack feat. You can really mess people up. But if you happen to be playing a creature yourself, like at some point you're like, hey, I want to try to play a creature. Would this, X, Y, or Z creature be cool? And then you get to make up what's called a creature class, right? or a racial class. And you can take levels in like a normal class too. So if you're playing like a Medusa, or even a male Medusa, which is called a Madar, you could take levels in the racial class as well as levels in, like fighter, wizard, something like that. So as you go up in levels in the racial class, the reason you have to do that is because you're not like a full-fledged whatever it is, Like a Medusa might have, a very beginning Medusa might have a weakened stare, so it doesn't turn anyone to stone. It just stuns them for a round, something like that. But eventually they work up to where they have a full-on, petrifying gaze. Much better. Normally, weapon focus just gives you a +1 to hit, right?
Okay.
In the older game, which is the way we're going to change it, you're going to have a +1 to hit and a +1 to damage. So you can add, so for your sword, instead of a D8 +2, it's going to do a D8 +3 when you're using the broadsword specifically. And at your level, you automatically get 2 attacks per round, because that means you've trained with this blade really well. So you really will get 2 attacks normally and 3 with your frenzy. So I would actually let you have another attack, because I just remembered I thought of it earlier, and then we were talking about something, and I lost it. So yeah, we're doing weapon focus the way it used to work, which was better.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can get another attack in,
actually. If she's coming at me with a claw as the held attack, I want to take one of the nails and shove it in her head.
Oh.
Okay. You are okay. Roll a d20.
Okay. All right. Epic. Taking my hand from the position I had on the one's back as she's starting to go slunk, slicing into its arm. I try to grab out the nail quickly.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. I rolled a 15 -2, 13. Do I get any modifiers to it? A base attack bonus?
Well, yeah, you always add your base attack bonus.
That would be a 17.
And then your strength modifier too, because it's a melee attack.
And +3 for my strength modifier. 20.
Dirty 20.
20.
Okay. You jab the nail.
Yes!
Into the head. Now, let's check. Remember, creatures under 10 hit dice get no saving throw. So, yeah, you see, you pull that out, and there's this flash, right? This silver flash strikes her forehead. You feel kind of like this strange tingling sensation in your hand. And, you see she stops as her, writhing multiple limbs, and the one that's the hand is lying on the ground, still twitching though. And then, just like you saw before, her eyes have this silvery golden glow to them, and she's now looking up, her head tilted upward like she's looking up to the sky, and she is not moving. Now, when I say paralysis, it's more like the hold spell. So she doesn't fall to the ground. It's not that sort of paralysis. It's she's magically held. So she's now just standing. Are you doing anything? Well, you can see. Well, we're gonna go to you now, Xing. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you saw this strange silvery flash. It wasn't super bright, but just a little flash. As you see, Chiasa, slaps the creature in its face or somewhere up there. And are you doing anything?
Did it look familiar, like when they stabbed the nail into the other one?
Make an intelligence check.
All right, I like those. That is a big 11.
You look familiar, but you weren't sure where from.
Yeah, it's happened. That happened within the last hour and a half. So yeah, you do recognize the silver flash, and then you also see, yeah, she's not moving. The way she was undulating and looking all nice and creepy, and her head kind of weaving around on those couple of extra hands. Yeah, she suddenly just stopped.
Then I will hold my magic missile stone out, like ready, and I'm going to ask the guy I'm with, what is happening?
Well, he looks at you and he just points at his forehead and makes he's still holding the bow in his left hand, but with his right hand, he just points at his forehead and then makes like a slapping motion towards his
Oh.
and then he nods.
Yeah, and I'll hold.
Okay.
Actually,
well, yes.
Can I try some? I would like to summon Mao the rooster and have him fly over there.
Oh, okay.
And with Summon Monster 3, can it be a cockatrice? If that's how you say that?
Oh no.
That's how you say that. Yes.
All right.
So the cockatrice.
Tristan summons a cock. All right.
That's the cockatrice can therefore it can slaps. Yeah. Well, see, cockatrice, all it has to do is slap someone with its tail, any of its feathers, and then they can become petrified. Now, it's not going to be like a full cockatrice in which you turn someone to stone permanently, but it'd be like, have you guys watched Delicious in Dungeon?
Yeah.
Okay, kind of like getting turned to stone there. It'll be a temporary thing.
All right.
So, but yeah, it pretty much, you could effectively take someone out of combat, though. Most normal combat, they're not going to turn back until it's all over, and then you guys could be standing there, and when the person comes out of the, their stone, you're going to be like, oh, everybody's aiming a blade and spells at me. Okay, I give up. So.
And I don't think I can communicate with him while he's over there, so I'm going to ask Mao to work with Chiasa.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Well, he can actually speak to you, but he might do that. You know that it might intentionally speak that way to Chiasa rather than using the common tongue just to be obnoxious.
Tristan, why have you not been showing your cock more often? We'd be favored party guests.
And if he'll allow me, I'll give him a toss to help him get there faster.
Okay.
So many jokes. So many jokes.
Well, you see Kageki, he still has his bow in hand, but then you see he slips over the edge where you are here and scrambles down to the where the rock wall meets the water. Mm-hmm. And then you see he steps out onto the water surface.
What?
When he does so, you see the the tabby shoes he's wearing. You see the thread, like they're like these looks like you didn't see them before, but now you see these looks like kind of golden threads that are holding the tabby socks on, and they glow.
Dang.
Dude, he's got walking shoes and a cool.
But he looks up at you, and he makes a motion to you.
Oh, okay.
Kageki's holding his hand out to you.
I'll climb down, or probably not as graceful as he.
Yeah. Okay. Well, make a climb.
You still have the.
Yeah, this is kind of a sheer. I mean, it's rough, but it's still a sheer rock wall, and it's about an 8-9 foot drop down. So.
All right. As I begin my climb, I say, "I've seen this on Naruto."
See this on number 2.
Okay, well, with my strength, that is a 6.
No, cat's eye or whatever. Your bonus, your spell, right?
I don't think Cat's
Cat's
Grace Lands is going to last that long. Didn't you say it was like 30 minutes or something like that?
30 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't been down here that long. We climbed down
Really?
and then we walked.
Yeah, you did it just before you came down, so it's been probably about 18 to maybe 20 minutes.
Okay.
So yeah. It took about 15 minutes to get to the lake.
Yeah.
Then I would like to change my answer to an 8.
Wait,
Okay.
No, a 9.
It's 10 because you had a
Huh?
6 plus 4, right?
Huh?
Isn't it plus 4?
No,
I think he was already adding his bonus in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, prior to the other. Yeah,
The
so
other roll.
it's an
Okay,
8.
I got confused. I apologize.
Yeah. All right, that's not enough to drop you into the water, but it's enough that you're still scrambling at the top trying to
I'm coming down.
Well-
Mal, help! No, I'm just kidding.
What are you doing over there?
Well, you feel Kageki, one of his hands grabs your ankle, and then you look down, and he's just like, motioning for you, like with his other hand, very slowly, like, motioning like a downward motion, very slowly.
All right, I will climb down slowly.
Okay, try again. He's helping you, because he's helping you here. You're going to get a +4.
Awesome. All right. That is going to be, with the +4, a 19.
Okay. All right. Well, you climb down there, and he's just holding. And when you get down there, he holds onto your upper arm. And while he's holding you, the water feels like it's kind of strange. It feels semi-solid, almost like you would be standing on. Not that they. I mean, they have mattresses, but very, very few people use mattresses. More people just use the mats.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be like feeling a mattress with like a 12 or 1400 thread super slick sheet on it, and it's like trying to stand on a mattress like that, as the sheet would be moving around on the mattress, so it's not exactly steady. So that's kind of what it feels like standing on the water. But him holding onto your arm, the two of you, you get the feeling he's walking slower than what he normally would. But anyway, he's walking across the water with you in hand.
Thank you.
So Chiasa, you see this, but that took about 20 seconds, 25 seconds. So you have just a little bit of time, as you slap this on there, and it's supposed to last for 10 minutes. Hopefully.
Okay. I quickly say to her, now I'm checking to make sure that the first sister that we imprisoned is dead.
No, she's not dead. She's bleeding badly, but she is still alive.
Okay.
And she's on her knees, kind of choking on a little bit on some blood, but she's you can hear the gurgling breath, but she's not dead.
I leaned down to her ear and I said, "As promised, you didn't warn her, so she will die quickly." And then I stab her through the side of the head with my blade.
What, Umako or the
Umako.
Twisted? Oh, okay. Okay.
Quick little combat stab.
Let's see.
I'll use all 3 moves. This
Yeah,
bitch is going to be stunned for a while, so
roll to hit.
All right.
She's gonna try to roll away from you, but
I don't think she can. So I rolled a 16 minus 2, 14, plus my base attack 18, plus this 21.
Okay, that is a stab, and once again, she's still being held by Arimono. Who you hear her? Whoa! When you do that. So, but yeah, you're gonna get a triple damage again.
Okay.
Yeesh.
Okay, that's first one 6. Second one's 4. Last one's 7. So triple. So I add first 3. So I add 3 to each one. So that's because it's not times 2, so it's just adding the. Is it just adding 1 plus 3 or plus 3 to each die?
3 to each die.
Holy shit!
So I think I think that was a 17 plus 9, so it should be 26 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, your blade, the broad tip of your blade, yeah, it cracks right through the side of her skull, goes in probably a good 4 inches, and maybe 5 inches, and she tumbles off the end of your blade, quite dead now, twitching a little bit, but dead.
And I'm now staring the other mother lady in the eyes.
Well, she can't even see you. She's
in a daze.
Yeah, she's kind of out of it.
But I'm looking at her because I have a feeling she can still see everything going on. And I say to her, "Where are the prisoners?"
Well, with one of her twisted limbs, she points over at the waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
And
I say, in a raspy voice, she says, "They lie there."
All right, and I point over to Jing. I say, "Jing!" and I point over to the waterfall.
Can we walk that way? I asked
well, you're probably right at about the shore at this point, so you could just walk along the shore to get over to the waterfall.
All right, perfect.
And
I'll thank him, and then I'll start walking that way.
And then, really quick, I ask. Second question, I ask: are there any more victims? Any more prisoners?
There are only 3 within the chamber.
So she lied. There was 3. She said 2. She lied. She was trying to keep a snack for later. Dumb broad. All right. And then I turned to the lady who was kind of holding the other monster prisoner.
Yeah, she's you see her with a couple of deft flicks of her wrist. The chain unwinds itself from the corpse of Umako.
Ooh.
And then it just it wraps itself up around her wrist. It seems to look like it's much shorter in length now, more like like maybe a 5 or 6 foot long chain that just wraps around her wrist, rather than the way it was wrapped around Umako before. It probably would have been like 50, 60 feet. So yeah, it seems to shrink up, and
that's dope.
And then I
a bracelet that's wrapped or chain bracelet wrapped around,
which is so fucking cool. And then I flick my blade so that the blood kind of flings off of it, and then I point it and prep it, and it's pointed straight, and it's like an inch away from her eye, the last mother demon's eye, and I'm holding it right there as a held action, getting ready to use my last 2, because you said I had 2 attacks, right? Because 3 total.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, but see, you don't have to worry about attack now. You're not even in combat. So right now, because this individual is totally held, because Umako, you had to roll for Umako because she could still try to move. Right?
Yeah.
In this case, the individual is totally held and isn't moving. So you can do what's called a coup de grace, which means it wouldn't matter if it was an epic level character. If they're lying there on the ground, totally helpless, or let's say, like another epic level person did a hold on them and they looked over at their first level hireling, they're like, kill him. You can do a coup de grace on the epic level dude. And if nobody stops you, or unless they have some magical contingency that's going to occur, like, oh, they are a which you can do things like that, like, oh, I'm about to take lethal damage and it teleports my body away. if they don't have something like that in play, the 0 level dude is going to get a kill attack. That's what a coup de grace is. If someone is totally helpless, you just kill them. You just say, I'm going to do a coup de grace, and that's it. It's over. Doesn't matter. It's like, oh, the epic level epic level barbarian has 325 hit points, but he's held, can't do anything about it. 0 level dude, the farmer just grabs a sickle and kills it. That's it. It's over. So when people are helpless, hit points don't matter at that point. It's just reality check. You're helpless. Somebody stabs you in the throat, the heart, whatever. That's it. It's over. Yep. So yeah, you can coup de grace. So, all right. Well, then you don't have to worry with attack.
I prepare for a coup de grace then. While I wait for him to check to see if the people are over there.
All right. Well, behind the waterfall, you're going to get a little wet moving behind there. But there are a couple of cave chambers back here, natural ones. It's elevated a little bit above the lake bed itself, or the surface of the lake. And you do indeed find some people in here that are in some strange cages. The cages they almost look like overly large crab pots. Yeah. But yeah, like they could hold a crab the size of a pony or something like that. But instead you see humans in here. Or, well, rather you see 2 humans. The third one is not a human. You see a child in here, probably 6 or 7. There was some noise going on out there, so you can see they are looking at you fearfully. Even though think about it, you're a glowing artificial man who just steps in. So the child, looks like about us.
My cock.
You see that? Yeah, there's like a 6-year-old. Looks like a little boy, probably just a commoner, the way he's dressed. Has his hair back in a little bit of a tail, otherwise mostly in disarray. He's just sitting, sitting with his arms hugged around his knees, looking fearful. You see a woman who looks to be probably mid-20s. And with a nice but simple kimono. Once again, a commoner. Probably a lot of people might not miss this person. The third individual also looks to be reasonably young, like probably just barely into the adolescent years, maybe 12, 13 years old. And he would look human, except that he has 2 black horns just sticking up out of his hairline. And and his eyes are kind of a golden amber color.
Dang.
And his hair is black, but he has a white streak down the center, like a skunk stripe.
Nice. I will open with hello everyone. My name is Xing Hong. I'm here to rescue you. And before I actually sorry.
No.
Before I actually try to get them out, I would like to detect magic.
Okay. All right. Well, you enact that spell. It's 0 level, so no problem. And you spend a little bit looking around. You do see there's some other things in here. Looks like there's a bed in here. And not like a normal mat one, but an actual, a bed sitting up off the ground with a mattress. And by that, you see there's a trunk in here as well. The trunk is open, and you can see some nice clothing in there, despite the damp. The clothing does look nice. And from the trunk itself, you do see a faint glow.
Ooh.
All right. Well, I do want to prioritize getting these people out of their cages, so I think I will let them out and tell them there are others waiting for you to help you out of here on the other side of this waterfall. And when they go, or if they, I'm going to.
Yeah,
open the
you
trunk.
see, the woman actually guides both the boys, even the one with the black horns.
Nice.
She arigato, so she thanks you, and then she guides the two boys out.
All right.
And
then I'm going.
Which
right?
Yeah, so you will see that a moment later. You'll see this woman and two boys, one about 6 and the other one probably around 12, albeit with a a skunk stripe in his hair and little black shiny pointed horns. They're about maybe 2-3 inches tall, stepping out.
Okay. I say, since I have 3 questions, well, I have 4 questions actually. Or wait, no, I have 3 because I asked 2. Okay.
Yep.
As I see them coming out and they're heading my way, so they're getting ready to go past. I say to her, is there
Someone you like?
is there any other people around here who might be maybe not like you, but other kinds of monsters that will hurt people?
Of course there are.
Ooh.
And then that's number 3. So number 4 is, what are their names?
I do not know the names of the creatures that will kill you.
And for the final question, before I want to pop the coup de grace, I'm going to wait for the kids to go ahead and pass, and the people.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, Arimono, she's actually guiding them a little further away. Kageki is just standing there, kind of doing that. Like he's taller than he looks, but he kind of hunches. So he's just kind of hunched there, and he still has that strange little collapsible bow in his hand. It's kind of like he's looking all around, just paying attention to the people who were released, as well as looking over at the waterfall.
Right. Okay, so.
And of course, keeping an eye on the the monstrous creature too.
Right. So, as everyone would be leaving, I'd say, "Go, get out of here, go! Follow, and I point over to the guy who came with us with the bow.
Kageki, okay.
Yeah, Kageki. I say, follow him, Kageki. Take them away.
Well, he glances over at Aramano. She nods. She's like, "Let's leave them to finish it up." He just shrugs. He looks at you and just gives you a nod. And then so the two yakuza are leading the survivors out, and doesn't take very long before they leave. And they're not seen, so they're going to walk back the about 15 minutes, and they should be out.
All right. And I wait for Jing now, since I still have a little bit of time.
I
Yeah.
would
All
very
right,
much
Jing.
like to loot this chest.
All right. Well, there's a lot of nice clothing, kimonos. Well, ladies kimonos, really just from the cut of them and design. But inside the chest, you do find 2 small potion vials. One is a crystalline vial, just a thin little, more like an ampule, and the other one is a little silver vial, probably about the size, almost like a whiskey flask that you would that you would carry around.
All right.
So 2 potions. And you're also picking up something else. A small pillow is actually glowing. It has some embroidery on it. Just looks like an outside waterfall in the mountains with a few trees. But the pillow itself is glowing.
Oh, it's one of those magical suffocation pillows.
You just lay it on someone's face and walk away.
It'll suffocate it for you.
The auto suffocator.
Yeah, that's suffocator.
I'll take all three.
Oh,
of
that
them.
would be a nice. That would be a nice assassination thing where you set the pillow down though, and after someone lies down on it, it takes effect like right after it detects that they've gone fully asleep. Then it reaches up and envelops them like an executioner's hood.
Yep.
There you go.
And it has a veil of magic where it actually doesn't let them breathe through the cotton.
Right.
Yeah, I'll take all three of those things.
Okay. Alrighty.
Then I'll head back to Chiasso.
Okay. Oh, Jeebus. Sorry, there were 2 cash strings in there too.
Ah, yes, of course. I would take those.
Shove those in your porcelain.
One of the cash strings has 25 chi in on it.
All right.
Wow. That's a lot.
And the other, yes, it is. And the other cash string has 85 tail.
All right.
That's not as much.
No, but
I just want you to know,
That's
Jasper,
nice.
this isn't very much to me.
I know. This is pocket change. I know.
Yeah, he collects taxes. He collects taxes quarterly from like a whole town.
That guy had ridiculous amounts of money. He had more money than he knew what to do with, and that was a really bad thing. So Jess is more modest. So as you come out, I kind of nod over to your big glowing light bulb self, and you see me just getting ready to stab her right through the face.
All right.
And I say, we have one more question.
I'm holding Mal at this point.
okay. the big rooster.
Yeah. I'm holding my rooster.
Figures a man to stand there holding his cock in his head.
While I watch these 2 women.
All right. So no, I say to you, I say, she said there's someone else. There's some other kind of creature that's going to try to kill us.
I look around.
Not here. And I say, I'm going to ask one more question, and then she will die.
I say, okay.
I say, any suggestions before I ask?
Not really. I don't think so. Nothing I can think of.
All right. And then I look into her distant, glazed over eyes, and the one eye that I can see with the other eye still has the blade tip basically about ready to plunge into it. And
Right.
I ask her, where are they coming from?
The enemy within will eat your temple alive.
Ooh.
Ooh, and then I stab straight up through her head.
Okay. Well, there is a shuddering and a twitching, and a couple of other smaller limbs almost like form out of her body, twisting around. Her head, more tissue reaches up to like grab the head, like it's trying to pull it back in line with the, fully attached to the torso. But then she just drops down, and she's clearly has different abilities than Amako. Amako is just bled out, right? Died. This one she's kind of part of her, not all of her, but part of her dissolves in that black, phlegmy, bubbling stuff.
Oh, damn.
Ew.
So it's almost as if her bones turn into that, like her bones melt into that black, phlegmy stuff. So she's still left with the flesh, the claws, um, and the dried skin, but the bones themselves are no more except goo, caustic goo.
All right.
And of course, that does, because of the caustic goo, it's leaving a particularly pungent,
Yeah.
awful smell.
I immediately flick the head off my blade, and
Yeah.
I just clean it real quick and put my sword away and like cover my rat snout.
Yep. Yeah, because Xing, you can smell it, but for Chiasa, it's probably
Oh, yeah.
much, much worse. It's making your eyes water. It burns your nostrils enough.
I want to see if they dropped anything. If these two demonic mamas had any loot on them.
Oh, wait a minute. Xing,
Yes.
you do see, because you have your detect magic, you do see a little bit of glowing.
Oh.
Yes. Umako's hair sticks. There are 2 hair sticks, and they're glowing.
I'm going to point those out. Magic?
I'll run over and I grab it.
Okay. So it's funny because you guys missed a few things when you were first playing these guys. You'd kill stuff and then just leave them, right? there was no searching at all, and so you guys missed a few things here and there. Now you're like searching them, and the twisted thing like female. Yes, she has a pair of earrings that glow.
Ooh, and magic. I point at the earrings.
Magic.
Magic item, a magic item, and magic item.
You gotta go get the magic item.
I was thinking enchantment.
Okay, so 2 hairpins?
Hair sticks. They like the lacquered hair sticks. They're black with like blue and purple orchids and lotuses painted onto them, with like a little gold strip down the center, and then the thinner tip, kind of just a simple golden silver color.
Okay, all right, perfect. Wrote that down. Okay, and then so 2 magic hair sticks, and then what was the other thingy?
Earrings.
Earrings.
Yes.
All right, I go and I snap.
The earrings. Yeah, the earrings. Rather than silver, they're not silver. They appear to be made of gold, and these gold hoops with a little chain on them. And at the end of the chain, it looks like each one of them holds little flower petals that have been frozen in resin. So it's like a little rectangular piece, maybe as long as the pad of your thumb, so like a good inch, and with little flower petals, like I said, just in resin.
Okay.
Nice.
I'll have to figure out what those do later on, but I grab them quickly, and then I turn over to you, Xing, and I say, "Did you hear what she said?"
I think I caught the end of it. There's something about an enemy within.
Something about an evil enemy within will consume something about an enemy. will consume our house from within.
I heard her say temple.
Make an intelligence check, Chiesa.
And I say, well, that would imply that someone at my temple is evil.
What'd you make on your intelligence check?
Make an intelligence check? Okay. Sorry.
Yes.
Oh, baby! Do I still have shaken?
No, you are not shaken now.
Oh, well, on an intelligence check, is there any modifiers?
No, this is just memory.
Okay, so if I'm not adding my intelligence bonus, it's a flat 18. If I am adding intelligence, my regular intelligence
Which you would.
bonus.
Yeah, anytime I say like whatever stat it is, always add your modifier.
Okay, it
just
is 19.
That automatic. Yeah. Yeah, you do recall when he said, so you said house, and then Xing said temple, and the word was temple. Will consume your temple from within.
Did she know you?
I say no. I've never seen. Have I never seen her before? Right? I was staring.
It doesn't look familiar, and even if you thought you had seen her before, she's so twisted up and everything that she would have had to have been disguised as a human for you to have seen her, and now she's so messed up. There's no way for you to extrapolate and figure out what she looked like.
Damn it! I say, I have a really bad feeling about this.
I agree. That cannot be a good omen.
And scene.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like that's perplexing. Like she really is. She does have a confused look on her face. Like Chiasa is. She's worried by this, and I think Jing, if you're looking in her face, like you can see, there's almost like an actual sense of like fear and potential dread that's starting to creep into her.
Oh no. Nice move with the nail, though.
Oh, I nod and I say, thank you. I took a page out of Acai Bowl. What is his name?
Acai.
Which guy?
The head guy that we just talked to.
Oh, the Yakuza?
Yeah.
His name is Eiji.
I call him Acai Bowl. Eiji. It's so terrible. I need to have a whole fucking booklet with people's names written down immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But I say I took a page out of his book.
Well, good job.
Thank you. And then I then present the other nail between my fingers, and I say, I suppose it would only be fair if you had a chance to use one of these eventually as well. And I hand it to you.
I don't really want it.
You say you don't really want it, and then I say, well, perhaps I'll use it to have you tell me your secrets one of these days.
Chiasa, you do know I cannot keep any secrets.
Or at least secrets that you think you don't know.
Oh, you're talking about my feature spell secret.
No. She gets annoyed looking again. She's kind of being quirky and she's trying to be a little sarcastic and like, you know, cute, but she gets And she puts it back in her little pouch and she's like, all right, we should actually probably get out of here. This is not safe.
All right.
And I say, lead the way, my bright friend.
I lead the way.
All right. Yeah, you guys return to the surface without incident.
Nice.
Sexy.
So
We don't need to do the climb checks and stuff to get out. You know, it's just
All
like.
right.
Yeah. I'm ready.
But so we can kind of do the wrap up of this portion of it on Sunday if you like.
Yeah.
But you guys are going to be level 7.
Hey.
So for you to fully gain the use of your level, though, your characters have to spend a few days training and resting up. Essentially, Xing, you can get everything except new spells. You need to learn that from someone.
All right.
Although you are in a small city, so you never know. You could find somebody here, possibly.
Nice.
You might be able to trade some of this, or you can just go, learn stuff from your mom because she's a Woojin.
I feel like I want to hang around here a little bit because this was such such an
There's a
intense
party
thing.
too.
There's apparently stuff going on, and I do want to have a short visit with Shozo, and I do want to train, learn a couple things from the Yakuza because they seem to have some knowledge of, demons and hunting them a little bit. So I just want to learn what they have knowledge wise and use that towards my level game.
Cool.
So that'll be we can do that all next time.
We're gonna make it back just in time for the festival.
Yep. Yeah. So your characters, so it'll be interesting. You're learning learning things from, the Sohei, learning things from the Hong family, pick up a few things from the Yakuza, so you guys will pick up all kinds of little demon ghost hunting sort of things from everywhere. Make you a little eclectic group.
Like teaching an old dog new tricks. Hi everybody, this is Jables. Thank you so much for watching my video. Thanks to my DM at Uriah Gray and my co-player at Tree Stand. They're fantastic guys. We had a great time, and I hope you really enjoyed listening to us play. This is only one of many episodes upcoming, as this is a long-running campaign. Have more content coming soon, more episodes, more fun. So please stay tuned, like, subscribe, and please comment.